The Union Gospel Mission isn't only serving up meals today, but hope of a better future for its clients. Among its services, the mission offers a program for people in recovery from addiction. Daryl LeLasher is a graduate of the program at the Union Gospel Mission and is joining us today from our studio at the Shaw Tower in downtown Vancouver. Daryl, thanks for being with us.
No problem. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Yeah, same to you. Now, I understand that, this program was very helpful to you. Tell us how you came to find the services and how did it help you?
Basically, I was living in the SRL hotels downtown, and it was quite a nightmare. There was bed bugs and cockroaches and all kinds of stuff. And I was in my addiction, and I basically spent most of my money on booze and stuff like that. So I needed a place to eat, and I asked one of the guys in my building where I could actually find some food, and he told me the Union Gospel Mission. So I ended up going there, standing in the lineups, and I was in those lineups for about 2.5 years until I finally got some help. And I listened to some of the intake workers and the pastors that were there, and they directed me to the program.
Interesting. So did you hear about the program through other people at the mission, or how did you get connected with those people there?
I got connected mostly with the outreach workers, and they saw that I needed some help, and they explained to me what the program was and how long it was, and I jumped at the chance. But like I said, I was in those lineups for about 2.5 years until I finally made that decision. So.
Now, just tell us, you said you were in those lineups for about 2 years before you got that help. How long, or what has that time been like since you first reached out for help, and what your life is like today?
Oh, it's two different worlds altogether. When I finally decided to go into the program, I went through the 6 months there, and it gave me the tools that were necessary to keep sober. And I was lucky enough to actually land a job with the Union Gospel Mission. I'm a custodian there. And I clean the shelters, and I clean the cornerstone, and I'm in touch with a lot of the people that come in off the street.
Were you at the Thanksgiving dinner today at all?
Yes, I was. I did a bit of volunteering and also a lot of the media work, and I had a really great meal, and I'm full.
How does it feel for you now to basically be on the other side of things?
Well, I tell you, I'm so grateful because I know what it was like standing through those lineups. And, there's one thing, too, about the people that are standing outside there. It's not just people who chose to be homeless. There's a whole bunch of reasons. People who have lost their spouses, people who are in between jobs. Everybody has a story that stands there. But when you finally get into the doors and you have a nice, warm meal like the Union Gospel serving today, it's a blessing.
Yeah, certainly, and there's so many volunteers, and it's really become a community event, and like you're saying, it's basically it's a lot more than just a meal. It's a time for everyone to come together and feel like they belong.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's a real community down there. It's basically you have people who are sitting at the tables and they're having discussion, and it's a nice warm atmosphere, and it's just a place to get out of the cold for a lot of people, and just to sit around and talk, it's a great experience.
And considering your experience, I guess, do you talk to people at the mission about what you went through? I mean, have you tried to, maybe get people help that they need?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Like I said, I work in the cornerstone in the shelter, so I see a lot of the guys that come up after 9 o'clock at night, and I can talk to a few of them, and I tell them that I've gone through the program and explain a little bit what it entails. And I talk with a lot of residents that are presently going through the program, and they look at me and they say, hey, my bro's done it. So I always tell them, hang in there. It's a 6-month program. It's a long one, but it's definitely worth it. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I don't miss my old life at all.
How long did it take you to change your life and get things turned around?
Many years. First started, I guess my first recovery, I was probably about 18. I had a lucrative job at the time, and I was pretty much told to shape up or ship out. And I realized then at that time when I was 18, I was really young, and I was doing it mostly for my parents at that time, and I was doing it for the boss. And when you're doing it for those reasons, your chances aren't very good. You have to do it for yourself. And yeah, so it took me quite a few years. I would say over 30 years, a couple of recovery places. And you know, the difference I would say between Union Gospel Mission and the previous recovery homes that I was in is that they don't really shove, you know, Christianity down your throat. They give you an opportunity to find a higher power. Of course, it's a Christian-based facility, but they give you the space, and it's a great program. It's just something that you dedicate to. 6-month program, I think is long enough. You have other programs that are 30 days. I don't find them, you know, so successful. You need time to actually experience what it's like to live sober. And for me, that's the difference this time around, is that, you know, it's been almost 3.5 years for me now. And it's just getting comfortable in your own skin, starting to feel, you know, what life is like being sober, and it's wonderful.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and it's great to know that you're serving as an inspiration to others in the community. Daryl, thanks so much for taking the time to speak to us today.
Thank you.